Greetings, fellow cultivators. Welcome to Audio Nova. Remember to like and subscribe to support the journey. Today, we're diving into the story of what's the point of cultivating immortality if you don't have money. As Wu Zhenshin was activated, Zhang Yu felt a buzzing sound within his body. His flesh and blood were tempered in the repeated vibrations, and the air bubbles within the concrete encased by his Genki were expelled through the vibrations, making the process several times faster than before. Very good, Zhang Yu thought to himself. This way, I can both improve work efficiency and cultivate the earthwood sacred body. From now on, I should follow this approach on the construction site. Many of the techniques within the earthwood sacred body should be compatible with construction work. However, as the work progressed and Wu Zhenshin circulated, Zhang Yu could feel his body beginning to weaken. He recalled the side effects described in Wu Zhenshin. Prolonged operation can damage nerve endings, limbs, joints, and muscles, leading to muscle tremor. In severe cases, it can even cause gangrene of the fingertips, limb deformities, and severely impair physical motor function. But Zhang Yu took a deep breath. While operating Wu Zhenshin, he was already striving to control the activation of his body to continuously repair the damaged areas. While Zhang Yu was working diligently, Yu Xing'an, not far away, was lying on a wooden plank, quietly watching the stars in the night sky. Alas, this work is too tiring. I need to rest, or my body will be damaged. In immortal cultivation, balancing income and health is very important. I can't earn money for half my life, only to spend it all on medical expenses. Li Zhao, on the other side, looked at the reclining Yu Xing'an, and secretly laughed at Yu Xing'an's inability to endure hardship. How can you do earthwood work if you can't even endure this little bit of hardship? Li Zhao watched the number of spirit coins in his work remuneration gradually increase, feeling more and more motivated, as if the aching muscles were nothing. Especially when looking at the huge construction site of the entire 666th floor, Li Zhao felt like there were gold and silver mountains everywhere, waiting for him to pick up money. Yu Xing'an looked at Li Zhao, who was working desperately, and thought, can he still hold on like this? As Zhang Yu said, this guy has been hiding his strength on weekdays, right? Then, Yu Xing'an looked at Zhang Yu, and saw that Zhang Yu's body was faintly inflated, and the power he was erupting was even more astonishing. Zhang Yu circulated his Genki, pouring concrete onto large areas of the steel mesh, like a giant dragon rolling back and forth in a river formed by steel bars. To speed up efficiency, Zhang Yu had slightly activated the battle demon life sacrifice art, increasing his physical strength by 0.2. And relying on the body activation, brought about by the remnant ox self-sacrifice mind technique, he was fully able to withstand the physical damage caused by the battle demon life sacrifice art and Wu Zhenshin. Zhang Yu looked at the spirit coins on his work pay, which had unknowingly risen to 0.01135 spirit coins, and the operation of the technique couldn't help but become a bit more intense. Seeing Zhang Yu's movements become a little faster, Yu Xing'an thought, what a perverted physique. He recalled the scene when Zhang Yu repeatedly fell, and quickly recovered, under the training of real person Xinghe on the first floor, and a look of envy couldn't help but appear in his eyes. At the same time, behind the construction site's surveillance cameras, Lishan was also observing the work of the new students. Yu Xing'an, this kid is quite good at slacking off. Li Zhao is steadfast and willing to work, a good seedling for earthwood. Lishan observed, and thought to himself, and Zhang Yu is truly an earthwood sacred body. One person is equivalent to the efficiency of 20 key refining laborers, but the salary is only 10 times that of key refining laborers. Poor martial arts aptitude, but steadfast and willing to work, can endure hardship. Physical fitness is not bad, and comes from a rural place like the first floor, lacking money. Poor aptitude, good body, willing to endure hardship, poor family, from the countryside. In Lishan's view, if this isn't an earthwood sacred body, what is? It's simply a natural earthwood seed. At the same time, Yingxin and the other two, along with the quality inspector senior, also patrolled to Zhang Yu's side. Seeing this, Yu Xing'an immediately stood up and continued working. Yingxin looked at the hard work of the three, and thought to herself, these jobs on the construction site are the most damaging to the body. Even if a foundation establishment cultivator consumes themselves like this every day, they will eventually get sick. Like Zhang Yu's job of pouring concrete, maintaining the operation of Genki and high-frequency vibrations year after year can easily lead to meridian expansion syndrome. and long-term maintenance of physical vibrations can also lead to muscle tremor. Construction workers have a lot of problems. She had seen and heard too much of similar things since she was a child. So she told herself that when she entered the earthwood department, she would never do these hard and tiring jobs. She hoped that from her generation onwards, the future generations of her family would no longer have to suffer this kind of hardship. This kind of blood and sweat money should be earned by these people from the first floor. I still want to be a management talent. And Xing's biggest goal in participating in the construction site internship this time was to attract the attention of a leader with excellent performance in the upcoming assessment and be selected to go to a field construction site. The truly powerful figures in the earthwood department are not in University City, but are running projects outside. Yingxin thought to herself, otherwise, how could the construction academy raise so many golden cores and nascent souls, just by relying on the projects in University City? Especially now that university wars are frequent, it is the time for the earthwood department to show its grand plans. It is the golden period for the rise and development of countless earthwood talents. How can I stay in University City and earn this hard-earned money? As long as I can be selected by the deputy director of the earthwood department this time, to participate in that project. Information about the 7 earthwood wonders surfaced in Yingxin's mind. She knew that she was not Gongshu Jin, let alone a match for Ji Yuanshu. It was impossible to compete with these two in the rankings. But who says that only by being the first in the class for 7 consecutive years can one have the opportunity to obtain all 7 earthwood wonders and finally unite the 7 key and master the heaven kunlin, mountain moving, divine power? As a 6th-generation earthwood person, Yingxin understood that a lot of the information she had in her hands would be the key to her soaring into the sky in the future. Unknowingly, Zhang Yu had worked all night. But under the effect of body activation, he was still full of energy at the moment, looking full of motivation. Wuji Zhenshin level 13. Salary earned 0.038 spirit coins. Zhang Yu thought, that's 1.1 for spirit coins a month, and 13.68 spirit coins a year. Real person Xinghe didn't lie to me. This earthwood work really makes money. Li Zhao, not far away, looked at Zhang Yu, and thought to himself, Zhang Yu's workload today feels much more than mine. As expected of my formidable rival, he can endure so much more hardship than me. Yingxin, on the other side, shook her head secretly. At Zhang Yu's rate of desperate, he will have problems in half a year at most. Just then, the yellow turban warrior named Huang Yan saw the 3 students leaving work. He reminded them, 3, don't blame me for saying too much. Although we earn a lot in this line of work, we also have a lot of physical wear and tear. After finishing work every day, we have to take good care of ourselves. There is a massage parlor at the entrance of the construction site. The technicians inside are skilled and provide excellent service, which can relieve a lot of physical wear and tear. With that said, Huang Yan had already left. After all, as a yellow turban warrior, he could no longer maintain himself through massage. Hearing what Huang Yan said, Jiang Yu didn't care. After all, he had the remnant ox self-sacrifice art, and if body activation wasn't enough, he could switch to the martial Tao sacred embryo for self-healing. At least for tonight's work, he hadn't put in his full effort, in order not to attract too much attention. In particular, he had already figured out what to do with the money he earned from the construction site. Buy high-quality mana. Not only can it be used to improve Lemulin's mana quality in the future. In the future, I can also earn money by selling my own high-quality mana. Zhang Yu was really too envious of those who earn money by selling mana. It was much easier than the work on the construction site. Li Zhao, on the other side, also dismissed Huang Yan's suggestion. With the money for massage, he would rather spend more on learning and cultivation. The matter of physical wear and tear still needs to be taken seriously. Yu Xingyan said solemnly, I'll go to the massage parlor to try it out for you first. If there are no problems, let's go together after get off work in the future. Zhang Yu waved his hand and said, not interested, you go yourself. Inside the massage parlor, Yu Xingyan waited nervously for a few minutes. When he saw the masseuse with muscles all over his body, and a physique several times stronger than his, he said in a dry voice, You. The other party grinned, patted his chest, and made a bang, saying, Little brother, don't worry. We have been serving the construction site for a long time, and understand how to help you maintain your muscles. Xiong wanted to stand up and leave, but thinking about the spirit coins he had already paid, he finally endured it. He asked, "Are there any female technicians?" The other party smiled and said, "I am a woman." Xiong took a deep breath and said, "Come on." In the next week, Zhang Yu was busy day and night. Every day after eating early medicine, he would start classes, learning immortal knowledge such as formations, engineering, strength, and so on, and exercising the basic techniques of the Earthwood department. After finishing a whole day of classes, he would have to accept the infusion of high-quality mana. After digesting the high-quality mana, he would work all night on the construction site, pouring concrete while cultivating Wuji Zhenshin. In the morning, he would receive another infusion of high-quality mana, and then go to class without stopping. For this reason he also invested an additional 0.5 spirit coins per month in high-quality mana. The spirit coins earned on the construction site this month had not yet been received, but a small half had already been spent. Unknowingly, a week passed. His Tao heart reached level 11, mana increased to 320.5, physical strength level 11.367, and mana quality also reached 115%. Wuji Zhenshin was also continuously promoted by him, and has now reached level 13. And when breaking through level 10, he obtained the level 10 effect, allowing the body and gang ki to vibrate at the same frequency, bursting out with higher vibration frequencies. At the same time, this will also increase the burden of Wuji Zhenshin on the body, increase the degree of wear and tear on the body, and increase the probability of disease. Zhang Yu would read the introduction of the various techniques under the Earthwood sacred body whenever he had time, and he became more and more certain of one thing. These techniques of the Earthwood sacred body either have huge side effects on the techniques themselves, or the working environment adapted to the construction site has problems, such as pneumoconiosis, vibration syndrome, cancer. Each one is more powerful than the last. That day, Zhang Yu had just returned to the dormitory when he saw Lemulin already waiting there. Besides the 0.05 spirit coins earned that day, Lemulin had subsequently asked Zhang Yu to purchase materials from different parts of his body, such as blood, sweat, and saliva, allowing Zhang Yu to earn another 0.08 spirit coins. However, as of now, perhaps because the time was too short, the company had not yet researched any results from the samples provided by Zhang Yu. The only surprising discovery Lemulin felt was that Zhang Yu's sweat was becoming increasingly pure and pollution-free, not to mention medicinal toxins and impurities. It didn't even have a trace of odor, just like cooling water used purely for heat dissipation. In Lemulin's mind, Zhang Yu's urine was probably cleaner than the cerebrospinal fluid of ordinary people. She thought to herself, after Zhang Yu entered the foundation establishment stage, his ability to metabolize and absorb drugs, as well as his control over medicinal toxins in his body, has become even more powerful. In addition, with the cultivation of the spring and autumn endless zen, after each medication, he almost perfectly filters out the medicinal toxins, and then gathers and stores them all. If this skill were used to become a drug tester in a pharmaceutical company, or to become a filter element for washing away medicinal toxins, the salary would definitely not be low. Of course, Lemulin knew that it was impossible for Zhang Yu to do this kind of work. After all, this type of work is too harmful to the body. Even a foundation establishment expert, under the effect of various experimental drugs just a few weeks, would be enough to leave irreparable damage, cutting off the path to immortality. But if it's just for her own small use. At this moment, Lemulin looked at Zhang Yu, and asked seriously, "Are you sure you can really let me eat it for free?" Zhang Yu looked at Lemulin in front of him, staring at the other party's Dao Seed, the profound, cold law vein. Zhang Yu thought to himself, to obtain Lemulin's Dao Seed, I must improve the quality of her magic power. To improve the quality of her magic power, I must wait for her to establish her foundation. But in Zhang Yu's opinion, Lemulin's chances of success in participating in the November foundation establishment exam are still a bit low. He didn't want to wait for the other party's next foundation establishment exam. Thinking of this, Zhang Yu took out a measuring cup and handed it to Lemulin. "Drink it and try." Lemulin took it a little embarrassedly and said softly, "If you were to sell this, you could sell it for a lot of money." Zhang Yu waved his hand and said, "We're friends, no need for money. Not just you, if you Xiong and senior sister Zhang need it, I will provide it to them for free as well." Lemulin looked at Zhang Yu, and a strange feeling welled up in her heart. She remembered the scene when she first wanted to buy the other party to lose in the high school martial arts competition. At that time, his appearance of not wanting money made her feel incomprehensible and angry. But at this moment, looking at his appearance of not wanting money, Lemuelin was not angry at all. Is this what good friends are like? Lemuelin raised the measuring cup, drank it all in one gulp, and felt the warm current of friendship flowing through her throat. A bloody smell also filled her throat at this moment. Xiong Yu watched the other party swallow his blood in one gulp, and asked, "How does it feel?" Lemuelin licked her lips, felt bursts of scorching medicinal power spreading out, rushing to her limbs and bones, and slowly said, "The medicinal properties are a bit weak, but there are almost no medicinal toxins. I feel like I can drink a lot." Xiong Yu nodded slightly. What he gave Lemuelin to drink was his own blood, and it was currently the only thing on his body that could improve her cultivation efficiency after drinking it. Otherwise, what else would people think it was? Through this method, he seemed to have become Lemuelin's medicine drinking filter, allowing the other party to take more medicine to help her cultivation. In addition, Lemuelin herself had undergone Xian's super metabolic modification surgery, so her medication level would definitely rise in a straight line, and her cultivation efficiency would also skyrocket all the way. Xiong Yu said, "Okay, in the future, if you want to take any medicine, buy more for me. I'll take it and then excrete it for you to eat, so you can eat several times more and use it to improve your cultivation efficiency." Lemuelin nodded and looked at Xiong Yu with some excitement, saying, "Xiong Yu, thank you." She remembered what Xuan Ji said, took a deep breath, and said, "If you want to engage in dual cultivation in the future, I can give you more money." For Lemuelin, giving the other party more money during a transaction was the only way she could think of to thank a good friend. Xiong Yu rolled his eyes and said, "What are you thinking about? Who said anything about dual cultivation? Don't talk nonsense, hurry up and go to class." Lemuelin said, "Other transactions are also fine right now, because I'm preparing for the foundation establishment exam. My finances are a bit tight. After I establish my foundation, this family." Xiong Yu said casually, all right, let's talk about it after you establish your foundation." He looked at the other party's dossier, only wanting to copy this profound cold law vein. So Xiong Yu took a measuring cup and continued, "I'll get you some more. Remember to drink more every day, and cultivate hard. You must pass the foundation establishment qualification certificate." Afterwards, Lemuelin also reminded him, "If you want to sell blood, you'd better be careful." Faced with Lemuelin's reminder, Xiong Yu just waved his hand. He didn't have this idea at the moment. Using the foundation establishment peak metabolic ability brought by the university holy body, he could at most feed some blood to the 3 people in the dormitory. As for outsiders, he has no channels, no immunity certificate, health certificate, business license, and other certificates, and selling blood involves too much. Moreover, selling too little doesn't earn much, and selling too much his body can't handle it, which would affect his cultivation instead. Besides, he already has a regular income from the construction site, and it's time to work hard. And this day at noon after class, Chuan Ji was walking in the corridor of the Department of Pharmacology's teaching building, looking for Lemuelin's figure. Where did she go? Arriving at a corner, Chuan Ji saw the other person's figure. Just as he was about to greet them, he saw the other person gulping something down. Looking at the empty measuring cup in the other's hand, Chuan Ji was slightly stunned, recalling the measuring cup that had flashed in the other's hand a few days ago. Already at this stage. Chuan Ji's tiger body trembled again, and an idea couldn't help but spring up in his heart. Is this still Myriad Dharma University? Did I accidentally go to Joyous Union University? It's only the first year, and I haven't even formed a team yet. How have you guys already cultivated to this point? Looking at Lemuelin's face turning towards him, Chuan Ji mustered his courage and said what he had been holding back for a long time. "Student Le, I also want to join. I also want to take a step further on the path of immortality. Can I move into your dormitory?" In the following days, Xiong Yu became more and more skilled at the construction site. The battle demon longevity art and the limitless vibrations in were running simultaneously. After each wear and tear on his body, it was repaired with the activation of flesh and blood. Especially after becoming skilled, Xiong Yu could always maintain the degree of wear and tear on his body at a recoverable level. This made Xiong Yu feel that not only was his body not damaged by the long hours of construction work, but it became more and more resilient and stronger. The improvement in physical strength was even faster than if he had cultivated alone. I can cultivate and earn money. This civil engineering department is indeed suitable for me. In the blink of an eye, he had been working at the construction site for half a month. As Xiong Yu's efficiency became higher and higher, his income also increased. In the past half month, he had earned a total of 0.59 spirit coins. The most new small say in 6.9 book bar first hair. However, looking at the account balance of 10.7 spirit coins after purchasing high-quality mana, Xiong Yu thought, I still have to work hard. This morning, watching the wisps of sunlight gradually appearing on the horizon, Xiong Yu ushered in the end of his shift with lingering interest. Limitless Vibrations and Level 20. Level 20 Limitless Vibrations and allowed Xiong Yu to perform overclocking vibrations beyond the limit, unleashing unparalleled lethality in a few seconds. It's useless. It can only be used to kill enemies and can't be used for work. Walking on the road out of the construction site, Xiong Yu was not very satisfied with the level 20 effect of this technique. Besides Xiong Yu, Li Zhao and Yu Xing'an were also leaving work at this time. However, compared to Xiong Yu, who was energetic and still full of energy after working all night, Li Zhao and Yu Xing'an looked more tired. In particular, some of the muscles on Li Zhao's body twitched from time to time, causing his walking movements to often become deformed. Yu Xing'an looked even thinner, and his cheeks were slightly sunken. When he walked to the entrance of the construction site, Yu Xing'an sighed, finally off work, I can go for a massage. He rubbed his arm and said, I'm so tired every day. I have to get a massage. Li Zhao glanced at Yu Xing'an with disdain, wondering how he could save money for cultivation if he got a massage every day. Xiong Yu waved his hand towards Yu Xing'an and left first. He knew that the other party did not have his recovery ability, and it was the right way to get a massage every day, to repair the wear and tear on his body. Yu Xing'an walked into the massage room familiarly, and he heard someone shout, Mr. Yu is here? Still number 38? Yu Xing'an smiled and said, don't forget to turn on the projection service. With the spiritual realm projection turned on, watching the technician and the appearance of Li Zulian walk in, Yu Xing'an put his foot up and said, help me massage my feet first. Xiong Yu was walking on the way back to the dormitory, and messages jumped through his mind from time to time. There were tasks assigned by the teacher in the class group. There were advertisements pushed by surrounding shops. There were also messages that were constantly brushed out in the Songyang group. Speaking of the Songyang student group, when everyone first entered the second floor 3 months ago, the group was very lively. Every day, Xiong Yu could easily see 999 messages. However, as time passed, everyone focused on their studies, and the number of messages in the group became less and less. But Xiong Yu still looked at it from time to time. After all, he could learn some news from other universities here. And just today, a statement in the group caught Xiong Yu's attention. Vajra University, many graduate majors have reduced enrollment, or even stopped enrollment. Have you seen it? Chao Tianxing of Fengdu University, are you guys paying attention to graduate school so early? Xiong Yu thought, old Zhao, this guy. A junior college is a junior college. Why is he learning from Motieni and calling it Fengdu University? He's still too vain. Lian Tianji of Joyous Union University, shouldn't preparing for graduate school start in the first year? Lian Tianji of Joyous Union University. Many of the majors that are reducing enrollment this time are popular majors. The Yin-Yang emergency medicine that I originally wanted to apply for has been cut by half of the enrollment quota. Lian Tianji of Joyous Union University. Alas, I don't know what the situation will be when I take the exam. Tian Shen of Tinghai University. The university's evaluation system is profound. Although I haven't studied it thoroughly, there must be a reason for this change in enrollment quotas. Xiong Yu saw the news that graduate students were reducing enrollment, and couldn't help but check it online. He found that Myriad Dharma University had indeed also seen changes in graduate enrollment quotas. However, seeing that the graduate quota for the civil engineering department not only did not decrease but also had to be expanded, Xiong Yu smiled. Recruiting so many, is this going to continue to drive down the wages of the construction site? Fortunately, my graduate studies will not be in the civil engineering department. Xiong Yu planned to follow the plan made for him by realist Xinghe. After transferring to the refining department in his junior year, he would go all the way to the graduate studies in the refining department. But in the next moment, looking at the news that the enrollment quota for graduate students in the refining department had been reduced by 40%, the smile on his face disappeared instantly. The artifact refinement department is why are they reducing enrollment? Xiong Yu never expected that after entering university, he would encounter a situation similar to that of his high school martial arts teacher, Lei Jun. It's just that Lei Jun encountered a reduction in the number of foundation establishment qualification certificates, while he encountered a reduction in the number of graduate students. After spending some time, Xiong Yu found that he couldn't find the reason for the enrollment reduction on the Spirit Realm network. However, after school that day, while taking medicine in the dormitory, Zhang Pianpian, listening to his questions, offered some answers. Zhang Pianpian began to speak. It is said that several artifact refinement masters in the transformation god realm have taken the lead in protesting, believing that the educational resources of the artifact refinement departments in various universities are insufficient to match the student enrollment. As Zhang Pianpian's fingertip lightly slid across the talisman book, countless pieces of information emerged in her eye sockets. She continued, secondly, they believe that the current quality of artifact refinement students is insufficient, and that standards should be further raised. Zhang Yu cursed in his heart. Damn it, is this like welding the car door shut after getting on the bus? Zhang Pianpian shook her head and said, the reasons they put forward are all superficial excuses. The real reason. Zhang Pianpian's fingertip drew a rune on the talisman book that Zhang Yu couldn't understand. The next moment, a large amount of information from the depths of the spirit realm flashed in her eyes. Zhang Pianpian smiled faintly and said, the real reason is probably that the top 10 universities have joined forces to limit the number of artifact refinement students in all universities, in order to consolidate their leading position. Zhang Yu, if you want to take the graduate entrance exam for the artifact refinement department, I'm afraid it will be even more difficult then. Zhang Pianpian sighed. I checked the enrollment standards for the past few years, and they have been rising almost every year. The requirements for transferring departments have also become higher, basically requiring a ranking in the top 50 of the entire department. If it's the civil engineering department, it requires a ranking in the top 20 of the entire department. Zhang Yu exclaimed, the requirements are so high. That's too outrageous, right? Top 20 in the entire civil engineering department, before I can transfer to artifact refinement? Who set this standard? Zhang Pianpian said indifferently, this is just the registration standard for the transfer exam. According to the new standard, if you want to compete with other students, you also have to compete for additional points. For example, having mastered immortal Dao techniques such as artifact refinement, alchemy, medicine refinement, array formation etc., can give you additional points, and you can be given priority admission. Upon hearing this, Zhang Yu frowned even more. Those additional point skills sounded like they would cost more and more money. Was this really screening talent? It was clearly screening wealthy students. Zhang Pianpian continued, Zhang Yu, if you still plan to follow the path of artifact refinement, then you have to work harder. After all, by the time it's your cohort's turn, I'm afraid the enrollment requirements will be even higher. Zhang Pianpian shook her head and sighed, but there's no way around it. The reduction in enrollment for popular majors is the current major trend. It's not just the artifact refinement department. The three trump card departments of Myriad Dharma University are all reducing enrollment. For example, the enrollment requirements for the finance department have long since soared to the sky. After all, the dining table is only so big. If one more person goes up, everyone else will eat a little less. As time goes by, it will only become more and more difficult to climb up in Kongshu. Like the entry requirements for the top 10 sects in a few years, they may not recruit anyone. Hearing the previous changes in enrollment quotas for graduate students and the artifact refinement department, Zhang Yu frowned repeatedly, but still maintained his composure, only thinking that he should work harder next. But hearing Zhang Pianpian's last sentence, his eyes suddenly widened, and he said, Sister Senior. What did you say? The top 10 sects may not recruit anyone in a few years. At this moment, with the daily, non-stop learning and cultivation, the power of the ritual that had not appeared for a long time, Zhang Yu seemed to recall that familiar chill again. Originally, Zhang Yu, who thought he could temporarily breathe a sigh of relief after being admitted to the top 10 universities, according to the wish path, became nervous again at this moment. He still clearly remembered the path he had made to achieve his wish. getting into university, joining a sect, and ultimately relying on the sect's salary to fulfill his wish of buying antiques. Damn it, if the top 10 sects don't accept people, won't I be unable to fulfill the ritual wish? Then, after graduation, will I be devoured by the ritual and die? Fuji. Did you hear that? Can you stop this broken ritual? Fuji smiled awkwardly. Alas, I didn't expect it to be so competitive now. Just as a stormy sea surged in Zhang Yu's heart, Zhang Pianpian glanced strangely at the change in his expression, and replied indifferently, only after coming up here did I realize that many situations are different from what we thought before. Since the establishment of the college entrance examination system, and the university system, there have been absolute geniuses who climb up almost every year, recruited from the top 10 universities into the top 10 sects. Under this system, the number of people in the top 10 sects is increasing every year, and peerless geniuses are emerging one after another. Each of these geniuses among geniuses is a person with extraordinary talent and overflowing talent. So many people join the sect and climb towards the peak of the immortal Tao. Don't you think it will become more and more crowded up there? For the top 10 sects, immortal Tao talent may already be overflowing. And the car is getting more and more crowded, so naturally, the standards for getting on the car must be raised. Jiang Pianpian sighed. According to the data I have learned so far, judging from the trend in recent years, there may no longer be any mortals in the top 10 sects, and the birth rate may have dropped to zero for quite some time. None of the people who go up to work can leave their household registration behind, and they still have to come down after working for a certain period of time. I see in a few years, it will soon reach that critical point. At that time, the top 10 sects may never recruit disciples again, and the sect heavens above the 10th level may never be opened downwards again. Above the sect, below the sect, they will completely become two worlds. Listening to what Zhang Pianpian said, Zhang Yu cursed in his heart. Why did I just happen to get stuck in this kind of time? If I had been born 20 or 40 years earlier, wouldn't the difficulty of taking the college entrance examination and entering the sect be several levels lower? It's fine if the difficulty is high now, but it might even be stopped for me. Jiang Pianpian looked at Zhang Yu's uncertain expression, and asked doubtfully, Zhang Yu, do you really want to join the top 10 sects? Zhang Yu nodded and said, do you think I still have hope? The most new small set is at 6-9 book bar first release. Zhang Pianpian checked the data and said, last year, the sect recruited 5 students from the artifact refinement department. Upon hearing this, Zhang Yu's expression changed. Recruited by the Myriadharma sect? Jiang Pianpian shook her head. The top 10 sects recruited a total of 5 people from the doctoral students of the artifact refinement departments of all universities, 4 in the nascent soul realm, and 1 in the golden core realm. If you want to join the top 10 sects, I'm afraid you have to at least advance to a doctorate. Upon hearing this, Zhang Yu only felt his heart cool down. Then he remembered the civil engineering graduate students, who were expanding their enrollment, and asked with a hint of expectation, then what about the civil engineering department? Does the civil engineering department recruit a particularly large number? 0. Zhang Pianpian said indifferently, last year the top 10 sects did not recruit a single disciple from the civil engineering department. It has now been defaulted that the top 10 sects may have stopped recruiting from the civil engineering department. I took a look. If you really want to join the top 10 sects, the probability of the artifact refinement department is already relatively high. The other departments are either lower than the artifact refinement department, or about the same. Jiang Yu asked, then how many years do you think the top 10 sects will completely stop recruiting? 5 years? 10 years? 20 years? Zhang Pianpian shook her head and sighed, it's hard to say. You know, for immortals, 10 or 30 years may be about the same. Zhang Yu asked again, have you never thought about joining the top 10 sects? Jiang Pianpian smiled faintly and said, the 8 divine deities are my ultimate destination. Saying that, she sighed slightly. After entering university, I felt more and more that we were ultimately born a little late. Upon hearing this, Zhang Yu couldn't help but clench his fists, and thought to himself, no, this won't do. This won't do. This is too dangerous. Looking at Zhang Yu's furrowed brow, Zhang Pianpian said, if you really want to seize the last chance, you have to complete your credits in advance and then apply for graduation. But that means you have to complete your cultivation in a shorter amount of time, and then compete with those elites who have been cultivating for 10 years for the graduate school quota, and then complete your graduate studies in a shorter amount of time, and then compete for the doctoral quota. Thinking of this, Zhang Pianpian couldn't help but shake her head. Hold on to what's in front of you first. Zhang Yu thought, graduate early? Zhang Pianpian reminded again. Remember, don't rush. The so-called haste makes waste. Never lose your composure and expose yourself. Zhang Yu nodded slightly upon hearing this, trying to calm down his emotions. Since entering university, Zhang Yu has been like a fish in water with his past profound accumulation. Whether it is cultivation, strength, or grades and rankings, they are all steadily increasing. After joining the construction site recently, even the spirit coins have a clear upward trend. Originally, he thought that as long as he slowly improved step by step, went to school and took exams, all the way, and finally joined the top 10 sects, it would be fine. But he didn't expect that the situation in Kongshu was far more severe than he imagined. But Zhang Yu has no power to influence the policies of the top 10 sects. The only thing he can do now is to work harder, and more desperately to increase that little bit of success rate. Thinking of this, Zhang Yu quickly thought in his mind, to do this without exposing my special talent, I have to earn more money. Zhang Yu understood that the more money he earned, the faster he would improve. At the same time, it was also a good cover for his rapid improvement, which could cover up his shocking talent. It just so happens that I now have a job at the construction site, so I don't have to worry about not being able to make ends meet, after spending money. Thinking of this, Zhang Yu had a plan in his mind. Then next I will spend money to improve my strength, as the basis for improving the efficiency of the construction site, and then earn more spirit coins, and spend more spirit coins, to improve my strength. So, after a moment, various products and services flashed back and forth in Zhang Yu's eye sockets, and he had already begun to select the things he would buy next. Listening to Audio Nova. As Zhang Yu looked at the various products on the platform, he couldn't help but say in his heart, Fuji. Didn't you tell me before that the immortals of the 10 great sects wanted to recruit more people to go up and grind? But now, not only are they reducing recruitment, but they're also stopping it altogether? Fuji sighed. The immortals definitely want to make the competition for those climbing up more and more intense, so that they squeeze themselves dry, squeeze their families dry, and offer everything, so that the profits of the 10 great sects can become higher and higher, and they can comfortably sit above the clouds. Otherwise, you wouldn't even have the chance to participate in the Foundation Establishment Qualification Certificate exam. But now that the 10 great sects are reducing recruitment more and more, it can only mean the sects' blessed lands are probably really overcrowded. Fuji pondered and said, after establishing the current college entrance examination, university, and company system, the 10 great sects recruit immortals with unparalleled talent every year. And among them, those at the golden core stage can live for 400 years, those at the nascent soul stage can live for nearly 1,000 years, and those who break through further, such as transformation gods and refining void, can live even longer. Thinking about it this way, the population within the sects is indeed growing far faster than it's decreasing. However, Zhang Pianpian's statement that the 10 great sects have stopped recruiting, dividing the world into two, is not entirely accurate in my opinion. This should be temporary. Once a batch of people above die, the 10 great sects will definitely start expanding recruitment again. It's just that this may take hundreds of years, or even several hundred years. Fuji suddenly exclaimed with emotion, I understand now, this should be cyclical. Expand recruitment for a period of time, then reduce recruitment for a period of time. All of this is related to the population changes of the 10 great sects. It's just that for the immortals, this may only be a short-term fluctuation. A small rise and fall, but for you people below the sects, it's a matter of several generations, a dozen generations, or even dozens of generations. Furthermore, because the sect's reduction in recruitment has spread to the company and university levels, it may eventually affect the entire Kongshu. Listening to Fuji's deduction, Zhang Yu cursed inwardly, what terrible timing to be born. He then asked, then can't the wish for the ritual be withdrawn? If I die by then, I'll definitely take you with me. Fuji smiled helplessly and said, ordinary wishes are fine, but this one really can't be withdrawn. It's all because you were so clever, and personally made a plan to fulfill the wish. Now that the ritual has been approved, and is fully operational, reaching this point, it's long beyond my ability to cancel. This is related to the essence of the ritual, which is the ritual rules set by the evil god kings. Zhang Yu sighed inwardly, but he didn't regret it. If he hadn't had a flash of inspiration back then, and temporarily stalled Fuji's wish, he probably wouldn't be where he is now. As things stand, neither the immortals nor the evil god kings are something he can influence. I can only try my best to do my own thing first. Looking at the dazzling array of goods online, Xiong Yu thought, the speed of my cultivation of the primal chaos embryo breathing technique is already astonishingly fast. What I need most now is to further improve my basic stats. Thinking of this, Xiong Yu had already opened one product and service after another. Half an hour later, the first thing Xiong Yu bought arrived. Along with the opening of the packaging box, a large box of jade coins shimmering with fluorescent light appeared in front of Xiong Yu. These jade coins were shaped like round coins, colored emerald green, with flocculent patterns on the surface, and contained a trace of misty spiritual energy, which were the low-grade spirit stones that Xiong Yu had purchased. Xiong Yu thought to himself, low-grade spirit stones, mid-grade spirit stones, high-grade spirit stones. Used to be the currency used in Kongshu, but now if you use this stuff to pay, you'll probably be cursed and rejected. Long before the advent of spirit coins, this online payment system, Kongshu's currency system had evolved several times, and spirit stones as currency had long been eliminated. Later, because of the spiritual energy contained within them, mid-grade and low-grade spirit stones were regarded as immortal cultivation resources, while high-grade spirit stones, in addition to their immortal cultivation value, also had collectible value. However, as the spirit realm network became more and more developed, and the formations, spiritual energy circuits, and various facilities and buildings continued to develop, spiritual energy was fed into dormitories and connected to every household, so fewer and fewer people used mid-grade and low-grade spirit stones. However, as the price of spirit stones dropped, there were naturally some people who were greedy for cheap and preferred to go through the trouble of buying spirit stones to absorb spiritual energy for cultivation. Xiong Yu thought to himself, but because there are always poor people buying them, the price of spirit stones has gradually been maintained within a stable range. Thinking of this, he had already picked up a low-grade spirit stone and swallowed it into his stomach. Along with the operation of the primal chaos embryo breathing technique, a trace of spiritual energy from the spirit stone was directly extracted, integrated into Xiong Yu's mana cycle, and refined into his own mana bit by bit. The reason why Xiong Yu wanted to buy low-grade spirit stones was naturally to improve the efficiency of absorbing spiritual energy, so that he could refine more mana every day. After all, he had to attend classes during the day, and work on the construction site at night, so the time for absorbing spiritual energy in the dormitory was extremely limited. He had seen products similar to spiritual energy array stones, which, when held, were equivalent to carrying an array node, allowing him to enjoy the infusion of spiritual energy wherever he went in the university city. However, doing so was expensive on the one hand, and on the other hand, it would cause people to track his monthly spiritual energy absorption. Therefore, after searching around, Xiong Yu chose to swallow low-grade spirit stones. At this moment, he swallowed 10 low-grade spirit stones in one breath, and felt that these 10 spirit stones had transformed into a small furnace, continuously releasing spiritual energy in his stomach to supply him with the means to improve his magic power. As his ki spiritual root stretched and contracted, it cooperated with the primordial chaos fetal breath sutra to frantically devour the spiritual energy within, giving Xiong Yu a sense of elation. Then, he continued to swallow spirit stones, increasing from 10 to 15, and finally swallowing up to the 23rd stone before feeling that the release and absorption of spiritual energy had reached a limit, as if a small spiritual vein had grown in his stomach. Absorbing spiritual energy from 23 spirit stones, at the same time, is my current maximum efficiency for breathing and absorbing. And cultivating by swallowing spirit stones, like this every day, will improve my breathing and absorption efficiency during classes and work. But cultivating like this, although it's cheaper than using a spirit energy array stone and enjoying a constant infusion of spirit energy, it still costs a lot per month. Xiong Yu calculated that cultivating by swallowing spirit stones every day would cost about 0.48 spirit coins per month. However, thinking about the number of entry-level disciples in the top 10 sects, Xiong Yu understood that this money was just the beginning. Inside the Dao Arts Department service area, Xiong Yu sat cross-legged on a futon, surrounded by streaks of lightning, constantly striking his body, stimulating the ki spiritual root in his dantian, improving his spiritual root fusion, and enhancing his 5 senses. The Dao Arts Department student casting the lightning spell said, "Zhang student, How do you feel? Zhang Yu said in a deep voice. Increase the intensity a little more. The other party smiled and said, okay. The newest and most complete novels are at 69shu.com. Zhang student, have you applied for a card yet? For Tao Arts enhancements like the Divine Firmament Thunderwave, it's best to do it 3 times a week, for at least half an hour each time. Applying for a card now gets you a 30% discount. Jiang Yu asked, how much does it cost to apply for a card? The other party said with a smile, 1 spirit coin is enough. Even if you don't use up all your Divine Firmament Thunderwave treatments, you can still try other Tao Arts services. Zhang Yu's account balance 9.45 spirit coins. The teaching level of the weapon forging department. Yunjing handed a jade box to Zhang Yu. After Zhang Yu helped Yunjing drive away his classmates last time, the two had kept in contact. This time, Jiang Yu came to him hoping to get a discount through him and save some money. Yunjing said, this is the cultivation type magical treasure you wanted, the 9 Hells Mountain suppressing belt. After you wear it, you can use the earth vein essence to nourish your body. Earth vein essence is a harmless essence that can act as a lubricant between your body and magic power, increasing the efficiency with which you use magic power to strengthen your body. In addition, through the earth vein essence, the 9 Hells Mountain suppressing belt can also apply a maximum of 50 times the gravity on your body, which can be used to help you temper your body and squeeze out your physical potential. For many wealthy people, similar cultivation-type magical treasures or cultivation-type magic bones are essential for body refinement. Zhang Yu understood that body refinement during the foundation establishment stage was inseparable from the strengthening of magic power. Especially as the spiritual root fusion increased, the spiritual root and meridian spread throughout the body and magic power gradually merged. The cultivator's body would gradually no longer be a simple flesh and blood body, but would become a transcending body. The 9 Hells Mountain suppressing belt in front of him could increase the efficiency of magic power, strengthening the body, thereby enhancing the effect of body refinement. It could also further temper the body through extra gravity, forcing out the cultivator's potential. Zhang Yu opened the jade box, looked at the belt inside, and asked, what's the price? Yanjing said, this is a product developed by the department in cooperation with the company. I can get you a maximum of a 10% discount, which is 1.35 spirit coins per month. As Zhang Yu put on the belt, the 9 Hells Mountain suppressing belt sent out a crisp, female voice. Welcome, to use the 9 Hells Mountain suppressing belt. An unfamiliar user's icon has been detected. Please agree to connect. A notification appeared in Zhang Yu's iBone perspective, and after he selected agree, a small belt label appeared in his iBone perspective. As he clicked on the belt, the user interface of the 9 Hells Mountain suppressing belt appeared in front of him. It has been detected that the user has not registered. Please complete the new user registration before using this product. After Zhang Yu completed the user registration, another notification appeared. We have discovered that you have a coupon that has not been used. Zhang Yu took a look and found that it was the 10% discount coupon Yunjing mentioned. After a moment, as Zhang Yu's mind moved, streams of earth vein essence poured into his body from the belt. Under the nourishment of this earth vein essence, his flesh seemed to have a strange difference. The strengthening of magic power was smoother, silkier, and more effective. In Zhang Yu's iBone vision, there were also gravity options from 1 to 50 times, as well as running mode, weight-bearing mode, climbing mode, and custom mode. He could further improve the body refinement effect and carry out targeted strengthening training through the cyclic adjustment and local adjustment of body gravity. Zhang Yu first felt the 5x gravity mode and instantly felt a sinking feeling all over his body, and his internal organs began to feel a drooping sensation. After trying several different modes and testing the body refinement effect, Zhang Yu nodded, I'll take this one. Zhang Yu's account balance 8.1 spirit coins. On the way back to the dormitory, Zhang Yu kept trying different combinations of gravity. In the end, he still used the custom mode. Because he consumed less physical energy during the day, while studying and attending classes, he used a 20x gravity boost on his whole body, which allowed him to temper his body to the limit without causing damage to his flesh. Zhang Yu called this the daytime study mode. Combined with the mode he used when working on the construction site, which was a 10x gravity mode, and 12x, 15x, and 18x gravity on some stronger parts of his body, Zhang Yu called this the nighttime work mode. Zhang Yu understood that as his physical strength continuously improved, the gravity multiplier for training would also be gradually increased by him, and he had to try to maintain a state that was closest to the limit. In the scorching flames, Zhang Yu only felt the muscles, all over his body gradually deteriorating in the high temperature and his powerful physique gradually turning into ashes. Under the heavy pressure, Zhang Yu felt his bones and muscles cracking inch by inch, and his whole person gradually being crushed into a pool of mud. In the intense pain, Zhang Yu felt blood flowing from his 7 orifices, his internal organs gradually decaying and withering, feeling himself walking towards death, step by step. Inside the classroom, Zhang Yu suddenly woke up, removed the spirit interface mask, and the image in his eye socket showed that there were still 10 seconds left before class. Zhang Yu took a deep breath, trying to recover from the spiritual world training just now. By purchasing the Hammer Heart Residence's monthly spiritual world service, coupled with the consciousness acceleration function, Zhang Yu could experience more than a dozen deaths during each break between classes. Under that extreme pressure of death, Zhang Yu could feel his level 20 remnant, ox body, and mind technique running frantically every time, tempering his Tao heart, again and again. Damn it. This is really suffering for money. Zhang Yu's account balance 7.3 spirit coins. Tao heart, mana, physical strength, spirit root fusion, mana quality. With the blessing of spirit coins, Zhang Yu could feel his strength ushering in another rapid increase, which made him have to sigh that it was good to have money. In the blink of an eye, a month and a half passed. When the time came to the end of October, Zhang Yu's Tao heart had reached level 12 mana 379.3, and physical strength level 12.01. In addition, the spirit root fusion had also reached 80%, providing Zhang Yu with a stronger ability to mobilize mana and physical strength, and also improving the efficiency of body refining and mana extraction. Mana quality reached 127% after repeatedly digesting high-quality mana, allowing him to feel that his own mana was more durable when he used martial arts, and the power of his Genki also increased a bit. The rapid increase in basic data also allowed Zhang Yu's ranking to rise again in this month and a half, from the original 7th place to the 4th place. Now, the only ones ranked in front of Zhang Yu were Yingxin, Gongshu Jin, and Ji Yuanshu. And with the comprehensive enhancement of all aspects, coupled with Zhang Yu gradually revealing higher level, body refining techniques, his work efficiency on the construction site naturally also improved. When he came back from the construction site this day, the spirit coins he earned this night had reached 0 for 9. 0 for 9 a day, 1 point for 7 a month. Zhang Yu thought to himself, it's still too slow, I have to be faster. Although his strength was increasing rapidly, and he was earning more spirit coins, Zhang Yu knew that he had spent even more spirit coins in the past month and a half. Now there were only 2.69 spirit coins left in his account. Income and expenditure are still not balanced. But it's no problem to last until next month. When the time comes to borrow another sum of money, it should be able to last another month or two, right? It should be almost there by then. In addition to the improvement of basic data and the increase in daily salary, Zhang Yu's biggest gain was the earth and wood saint body. After a month and a half of cultivation, he had done work such as arranging steel bars, filling templates, and transporting materials on the construction site in addition to pouring concrete. During this period, by changing jobs and finding suitable body refining techniques, he had pushed the 3 techniques required for the earth and wood saint body to level 20 again. Elementary earth and wood saint body, earthquake resistance, dust resistance, poison resistance, noise resistance, pressure resistance, cancer resistance, radiation resistance, pollution resistance, high temperature resistance, low temperature resistance, impact resistance, chopping resistance, puncture resistance, and hunger resistance are greatly increased. If you are tough enough, you are born to be a saint body for civil engineering. Suicide is a very time-consuming thing for you. Looking at the elementary effect of this earth and wood saint body, Zhang Yu knew that this thing could offset many of the side effects of earth and wood techniques and resist various vibration syndromes, silicosis, radiation sickness, noise deafness, cancer, and the like. But is it just to offset the side effects of the techniques? Although this saint body looked like it could offset various side effects, most of the resistances were useless to Zhang Yu, who had a strong self-healing ability. Instead, it was not as good as his current use of the university saint body to improve the training efficiency of the techniques. Speaking of which, this elementary saint body has so many resistances. Is there really a construction site somewhere that is so dangerous? Xiong Yu shook his head, swallowed a small section of steel bar, extending from his sleeve into his stomach. Along with the operation of the earth-eating divine art and the super-digestive power provided by the university saint body, he instantly turned it into nutrients to strengthen his bones. After eating this bite, Xiong Yu sighed. Only cement bags are edible on this construction site. Other materials are really not easy to pick up. In the next few days, Xiong Yu continued to study hard during the day and work desperately at night, but one night, along with a strong vibration, Xiong Yu only felt the floor under his feet undulating slightly. Although the vibration came and went quickly, it still surprised Xiong Yu. This is an earthquake. A moment later, Xiong Yu saw an appeasement notice in his eye socket, saying that an accident involving the explosion of dangerous goods had occurred in the underground layer of the university city, but with the implementation of rescue measures, everything would return to normal soon. Just when Xiong Yu thought that all this was just an ordinary accident. Half an hour later, all the construction workers on the 666th floor were gathered together. The figure of Talishan appeared in the visual field of everyone's eye sockets. He began by saying, "Everyone, there is an urgent task that requires manpower. An accidental explosion occurred in the underground level, and a group of workers is now needed to go in and carry out repairs. This job is quite urgent and has a certain degree of danger, but we are willing to offer 5 times the salary, for a duration of about half a month." Upon hearing about the 5-fold salary, some people present were already excited. Li Zhao, for example, clenched his fist, his face showing eagerness. However, some people frowned and quietly retreated, like Ying Xin, who shook her head, thinking, the university is not a charity. 5 times the salary. What exactly happened down there? Yu Xingyan said hesitantly, "Xiong Yu, should we go? 5 times the salary. 1 day of work equals 5 days, but giving so much, I always feel like this isn't that simple." Xiong Yu thought for a moment, and directly contacted Zhang Pianpian, wanting to inquire about the situation. Zhang Pianpian replied, an explosion occurred at the underground pharmaceutical factory. The fire has been extinguished by several teachers working together, but the damage caused to the site is significant, and a large amount of raw materials have leaked. You should have been asked to go and carry out repair work. After inquiring about the situation from his sister, Xiong Yu looked at the appearing registration notification, thinking about the resistance brought by his Earthwood Saint body, and ultimately chose to register. The latest novels are first published on 69shu.com. He said to Yu Xingyan beside him, "Don't rush to sign up. Let me go down and check the situation first. If things aren't right, we'll retreat." 20 minutes later, Xiong Yu, following the direction guidance in his eye socket, had arrived at the second underground level of the Myriad Dharma University City. He saw the door not far away, shattered and twisted, lying crookedly on the ground. Behind it was a large expanse of ruins, the original appearance of which could no longer be discerned. The figure of Talishan appeared in the eye sockets of many workers. He said, "Everyone, due to the explosion, the spiritual energy pathways inside the pharmaceutical factory are broken, and the formation has also been temporarily cut off. After you enter, you will not be able to connect to the spiritual world network. So, the factory blueprints and your respective tasks will now be sent to you. Everyone, follow the markings on the blueprints and go to your respective target locations to work." Although the fire inside the factory area has been extinguished, there is still a certain danger. Everyone must be careful. Also, everything in the pharmaceutical factory is a university and company secret, and a confidentiality agreement needs to be signed. On the other side, before entering the factory ruins, Xiong Yu had already switched the chain-linked pattern to the Earthwood Saint body, and looking at the resistances on the Earthwood Saint body, he felt a sense of security rise in his heart. Next, while looking at the map, he stepped into the pharmaceutical factory area, looking at the collapsed factory buildings and smelling the burnt smell in the air after the intense burning, wondering what exactly had exploded with such great power. Just then, Xiong Yu suddenly stared blankly at a wall, simply because there was a huge palm print on it. Continuing to go deeper, Xiong Yu discovered that the ruins were full of palm prints, fist marks, sword marks, and the like. Xiong Yu was surprised in his heart and said, "This is an accidental explosion? This is someone fighting here, isn't it?" Fuji said, "It seems that it was not an accidental explosion, but someone attacked this pharmaceutical factory. Xiong Yu exclaimed, "Attack? Who attacked here?" "Someone can attack the pharmaceutical factory of Myriad, Dharma, University City. Fuji, who knows?" Just then, accompanied by a booming explosion, a heat wave erupted not far away, engulfing several workers. Xiong Yu watched as the few key refining laborers were rapidly dried out by the high temperature, their skin scorched, and they eventually fell to the ground seriously injured. At the same time, streams of thick purple smoke rose from the location of the explosion. Someone shouted, "The toxic substances from the pharmaceutical factory have leaked." Just as some workers were about to flee, a Foundation establishment cultivator, whose height had swelled to 5 meters, snorted coldly and said, "What are you afraid of? Don't move around. Repair the site according to the plan. As long as the spiritual energy circuit is repaired, and the factory area is returned to the formation, the situation will soon be under control." Under his command, the scene quickly stabilized. Xiong Yu also joined in and began clearing the ruins. Then, Xiong Yu quickly discovered that the factory area was simply full of dangers. Explosions and heat waves appeared from time to time, and various toxic substances were like a pot of chemical soup, leaking everywhere in the factory area. Outside the factory area, Yingxin thought to herself, as expected, nothing good comes of it. She was curious and came down to see the situation, thinking, I don't know if this 5-fold salary is enough for medical expenses. As the high temperature and toxic environment at the scene intensified, a large number of key refining workers first chose to withdraw, and then a small number of Foundation establishment workers also chose to give up. Yingxin looked at Xiong Yu and Li Zhao, who were still rushing in and out, constantly transporting materials and continuing to participate in the repair work, and thought to herself, people from the first level are really working hard. But this is simply gambling. Yingxin didn't care about Xiong Yu and Li Zhao's desperate efforts. In her opinion, this kind of desperate effort was too demeaning. It was a helpless situation where one was too poor. Anyway, she would definitely not participate in such a dangerous job that might lose money. However, thinking about the progress of Xiong Yu and Li Zhao's rankings recently, a hint of understanding flashed in Yingxin's eyes. In 5 months, Xiong Yu went from being in the teens to 7th place, and now to 4th in the class, only 1 place behind me. It seems that he, like Li Zhao, has indeed invested a lot of money. However, Li Zhao has already been running out of money for some time, and is about to be unable to hold on. Thinking of the clumsy way Li Zhao had been finding excuses to refuse the last few times she asked him to cultivate together, Yingxin shook her head. Now it seems this Xiong Yu is also about to be unable to hold on. That's why he's working so hard to earn money.